Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another knife review by the Fishing Fool. And on today's review, I've got the ESEE Izula for you. It's a great little neck knife, wilderness neck knife, or backup to your bigger survival knife. And it's just going to be a great little thing to have in your bug out bag, or as maybe even an EDC option. And this knife was a gift from my uncle. It's a great gift. Thank you, Uncle Jay. I love it. It's awesome. But let's get into some of the dimensions on the knife. Your overall length is going to be 6.25 inches. Your blade length is 2.63 inches. Your thickness is going to be 0.156 of an inch. Blade steel, of course, is 1095 carbon tool steel, which ESEE uses on all their knives, other than the 440 stainless models that they have. And the Izula now comes in that too, as well as I think the ESEE 4. Your weight is 2 ounces with the sheath in its original configuration as a skeleton knife, the way it comes from ESEE. But as you can see, I put G10 scales on it that I purchased from theknifeconnection.com, and they ran me about $41.95, which I'll get into that in a little bit here. Your finished texture is a powder coat, and it's gonna wear off if you're doing any kind of batoning with it, which I wouldn't recommend with this small of a knife. I'm gonna have either an ESEE 4 or 5 to do my batoning, but this powder coating holds up relatively well, you know, if you're not putting it through a lot of hard use, which this knife's made for. And you got a full flat grind here, which is great for feathering sticks, doing any kind of little bushcraft that you have, or, you know, as a camp knife. And I have a little revision. This sheath here, I said originally in my ESEE 5 video that it was Kydex. It is not Kydex, it's molded plastic. I'm not sure what kind of plastic, but it is molded. And in this configuration, the way I have it, I've still got this pommel here if I need to use it, and it's got this lanyard hole here, so I can still string some 550 through there, and which I'm probably going to do because I have these mil-spec handles here in the camo, and if I were to drop that out in the woods, it's probably going to be not as easily seen as it would if I had something on there as a lanyard to basically be able to see it better, which I'm probably going to put some high-vis orange or the neon color on there just so I can see it if I were to drop it. It comes in 5 different color options. You get the black like this, or desert tan, olive drab. I think there's a pink model, and the toxic green. And the 440 stainless model, which is not coated, it's just regular stainless. But as this came to me, this came in a kit, as you see here. Everything in here came in a bag with the knife. This is basically the little survival kit that comes with it. I think it adds another $10 or so to the price if you get it with the kit. And it comes with some 550 paracord, which I don't have on there. I wrapped the knife when I originally had it, and I took it off, but I've got plenty of other paracord to go with it. So it also comes with a cord lock, large split ring, a small split ring, the Fierro fire starting rod, emergency whistle, plastic snap hook, and your pocket clip, which you see there, which can be fixed to the sheath here. And I think it only goes on one way. As you can see here, the screws are kind of staggered, so it only goes on this side, which I think is the right side, which is not a big deal. I don't use it. I use it with this little clip here so I can clip it onto my backpack or clip it onto my pants if I'm using it as an EDC option. But it's nice to have all those different options. You can wrap this entire sheath with paracord, or, you know, you can have different mounting options to have it either lay like this or upside down. And the retention on this clip's great. I mean, for being plastic, these little fingers in there are probably going to eventually wear out, but they're not that expensive. You can get a replacement. But upside down, I mean, shaking this thing, it's not going to come out of there. So I'm not too worried about it coming out hanging upside down like I keep it. And your price point with just the knife and the sheath itself is going to run you about $48.95. These are prices coming from the knifeconnection.com. They sell the knives with the handles or separately, or you can get the whole kit from them, and these are the prices from them. The G10 scales themselves are $41.95, and they come in a whole plethora of different colors. I chose the mil spec because it looks cool to me. And they've got some high-vis colors too. I think orange and black, and the toxic green and black. And the price with the kit and the G10 is probably going to run you about $103. That's a lot for a little guy like this. But like I said, this was a gift from my uncle. So I went ahead and got the G10 scales because it just absolutely takes the ergonomics of it being just a skeleton knife and really gives you a better purchase on the blade, because you got this nice palm swell here. You've got some good jimping up here to really choke up on and hold the knife. You're not going to worry about it coming out of your hands. Or you can go backwards, and I'm going to show you a little bit here in a couple minutes some things you can do with it. But I really like this G10. And are you going to spend $103? Probably not. This is a little knife, but it's a quality knife, and I absolutely love ESEE stuff. They just bar none the best little knives I've had, especially with the ESEE 5, just beating the heck out of the knife. And even this little guy, I haven't really put it through his paces yet, but the price with the knife and the G10 without the kit is going to run you about $90. But I mean, you're going to pay for quality just like anything else. And one of the other great things about this knife is the warranty. It's a no questions asked 100% replacement. If you were to break the tip, break it in any way, send it back and they'll give you a new one. And that's what I love. And that it's made in the United States. And another thing too, probably a con for most people, is going to be your 1095 carbon steel, because it's going to rust. But if you put a little bit of a rust inhibitor on there, some Tough Glide or any kind of gun oil, anything, you know, you might want to put it up here on your etchings, your little Izula amp, and your blade, or your actual edge here, your bevel, just to keep it from rusting. And if you do that, this knife's going to last you a good long time. But that's one of the drawbacks to having carbon. And you can get it in the 440 stainless, but it's going to be probably a little bit harder to sharpen in the bush or whatever. But this is going to be a great little knife to have with you, no doubt. I mean, you're going to be able to do some of your intricate shaving, maybe to get some timber or your tinder to start a fire with. And with a kit, you know, you get this little fire steel here, and you know, you're not gonna be able to use the backside with the coating, but you can use the edge like that. I mean, it's strong enough. I'm not worried about it, but I'm also gonna have something else to strike with. And some of the stuff that comes in the kit, you get this little cool little card here. Kind of gives you a little bit of extra knowledge from Jeff Randall there at ESEE's Adventure Training. Nice little thing to have in the your wallet or whatever, your bug out bag. You got this whistle here, it's pretty loud. But that aside, let's get into some a little bit of cutting with this knife. I gotta reposition this here so you can see. And let's see what we can do. Now, I don't recommend doing some batoning with this little of a knife, but you can do it. And you're not going to be using big pieces of wood. But as you can see, it does it no problem. It's pretty dry wood. This one's going to be a little bigger. But as you can see, I mean, it goes through there no problem, knots and all. And then you're gonna have your tinder or your stuff to make a fire with there. And to do some like intricate stuff like maybe making a notch, which I've kind of started right here. I mean, you're gonna be able to, you know, get you a notch going if you want to make a trap or something, or maybe make some tent stakes, anything you want to do. But I mean, it just makes small work of, you know, some intricate carving. And this is a pretty wet piece of wood, so it's a little bit easier, but as you can see, no problem at all. You can get some really nice shavings. And I sharpen this thing with the Spyderco Sharp Maker, and it will absolutely just shave the hair right off of you. Let's see if I can do that real quick. I've already got a bunch of it missing on my leg, but yeah, it's still shaving. I mean, you're gonna be able to do any kind of whittling you need, or you know, get you a fire bow going, and it's not really uncomfortable to do that. But with these handles, it makes it that much better, because without them, you're gonna get a little bit more fatigued just in your hand, because you're not gonna have much to grab. And even with the paracord on there, it doesn't give you much really to hold on to, and it slips around. But with this, I got this nice palm swell, and you know, it makes it a lot better in hand. It makes quick work of getting you some tinder ready for a fire. Or if you want to make a little spear or something to fish with, that's going to be no problem. And you can even reverse it and do a little bit more intricate cutting. But a knife like this is basically just going to be a backup. I would be carrying the ESEE 5 or the ESEE 4, but this is going to be a great backup to you, and it's going to be nice to keep in your bag. You're going to want it. You might use it to skin animals with, or do your light duty work, making a bow drill, or getting some tinder ready for a fire. But I would definitely recommend this knife, even as just an EDC option or a backup to one of your other knives, because it's a great little knife, and ESEE makes a great product. And you know what? I don't get paid, or I'm not sponsored by ESEE or the Knife Connection. I'm doing this on my own just to help you guys out. Maybe buying this knife or these little handles on here, because I mean, this just absolutely makes the knife that much better, because it gives you a lot better ergonomics, and you're still going to be able to do some batoning if that's what you want to do with it. But like I said, it's a smaller knife, but it's a great thing to have in your bug out bag, or just a backup. So you know, like and subscribe. Do some videos for us, so we can all just get a different opinion on these knives. Like I said, I'm no professional. I've been using knives since I was a young boy, and I don't get paid for this, so this is just for the sheer love of it, and to help somebody else out there make a decision on possibly buying this knife or any other knife. So you know what, like and subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one.